The Cry from the River, a terrifying African horror story about blood money and the price of greed. In a small fishing community near Bakassi Peninsula, there lived a young man named Ebuka. Ebuka was known throughout the village as a stubborn dreamer. He hated poverty with passion, while other young men followed their fathers to fish every morning. Ebuka spent his days complaining about life. "I was not born to suffer," he always said. "One day I will become richer than everyone here." But nobody took him seriously. His father was old and weak. His mother sold smoked fish in the local market. His younger sisters could barely afford school uniforms. Still, Ebuka refused honest work. He wanted fast money, dangerous money. The stranger at the bar. One stormy evening, Ebuka sat alone inside a dirty roadside bar drinking cheap alcohol. That was when a strange old man entered. The man wore a long black coat despite the heat. His walking stick made a disturbing sound against the floor. Toka, toka, toka. The old man sat directly across from Ebuka without permission. Then he smiled slowly. "You hate poverty," the man whispered. Ebuka froze. The old man leaned closer. "I can make you wealthy beyond imagination." Ebuka's heartbeat increased immediately. "How?" The man's eyes darkened. "There is a river deep inside the forest. The river gives riches, but it also demands blood." Lightning flashed outside the bar. For a moment, Ebuka noticed something terrifying. The old man had no shadow. The river of darkness. 3 nights later, Ebuka followed the stranger into the forest. The deeper they walked, the quieter the world became. No birds, no insects, no wind, only silence. At exactly midnight, they arrived at a black river hidden between giant trees. The water looked unnatural. It did not flow. It looked alive. Candles floated across the surface by themselves. Human skulls rested near the riverbank. Then the old man spoke. "The river spirit gives wealth to those who feed it." Ebuka swallowed nervously, but greed had already blinded him. The old man handed him a small calabash filled with dark liquid. "Drink." Ebuka drank it immediately. Suddenly, the river began to bubble violently. A horrifying female voice echoed from the water.
"What will you give?"
Ebuka trembled. The old man answered for him.
"He will give blood."
Then the river became calm again. The first sacrifice. The next morning, Ebuka returned home in silence. For days he behaved strangely. He barely spoke. He barely slept. Then one evening, the old man returned secretly and gave him instructions. "The river spirit wants a child." Ebuka panicked immediately. "No, no, I cannot do that." The old man smiled coldly. "Then remain poor forever." That night, greed defeated humanity inside him. A few days later, during a village festival, a little boy mysteriously disappeared. The entire community searched desperately. Mothers cried loudly. Men entered the forest with lanterns, but the child was never found again. Only Ebuka knew the terrible truth. The river had received its sacrifice. The wealth begins. Suddenly, money started flowing into Ebuka's life mysteriously. A businessman from the city gave him a fishing contract. He bought expensive cars. He built a massive mansion. He sprayed money at parties like rain. The same villagers who once mocked him now respected him. Young boys gathered around him dreaming of becoming like him. Women chased him everywhere. But behind the luxury, darkness was growing. The crying at night. Every midnight, Ebuka heard crying outside his mansion. At first, he ignored it, but the crying became louder each night. A child's voice. "Please help me." One night, Ebuka gathered courage and looked through the window. What he saw almost stopped his heart. A small muddy child stood outside the gate. Water dripped continuously from the child's body. His eyes were completely white, and fish were crawling inside his mouth. Ebuka screamed and fell backward. By morning, nobody was outside, but wet footprints remained from the gate to his bedroom door. The second demand. Terrified, Ebuka returned to the river. The old man was already waiting for him. "The river spirit is hungry again." Ebuka shook violently. "I already gave one sacrifice." The old man's face darkened.
"Wealth must continue to eat."
This time, the demand was worse. The river spirit wanted someone from his own bloodline. Ebuka refused repeatedly, but strange things began happening immediately. His money disappeared mysteriously. His businesses collapsed. His cars caught fire. Every night, the crying child appeared closer and closer to his bed. Sometimes the child stood beside him while he slept. The madness. Ebuka slowly began losing his mind. He stopped eating. He stopped bathing. He stopped attending public events. One night, villagers heard terrifying screams from inside his mansion. When they forced the gate open, they found him talking to invisible people. He kept shouting, "Take the money, leave me alone." Suddenly, he pointed toward the empty staircase and screamed in terror. Villagers looked up and saw wet child footprints appearing one after another down the stairs by themselves. Fear exploded across the community. People ran out immediately. The final night. At exactly 2 a.m. one terrible night, Ebuka heard a knock at his bedroom door. Knocker, knocker, knocker. Then came the child's voice again. "Come to the river." Ebuka tried to resist, but an invisible force dragged him out of bed. Villagers later said they saw him walking barefoot toward the forest like a possessed man. Nobody dared follow him. The next morning, fishermen discovered something horrifying beside the riverbank. Ebuka's body floated on the black water. His eyes were missing. His mouth was wide open in terror, and strange muddy handprints covered his chest. The river was calm again, as if nothing had happened. The lesson: the villagers never forgot Ebuka's story. Parents warned their children about greed and blood money. People finally understood that wealth gained through evil always demands a terrible price, because no amount of money can buy peace, and every blood sacrifice eventually cries for justice. Moral lesson: quick wealth obtained through occult practices, ritual killings, or blood sacrifice leads only to destruction, fear, madness, and death. Hard work, patience, honesty, and faith remain the safest path to lasting success and peace of mind. Money built on innocent blood can never bring happiness. Ending for video narration. If this terrifying story kept you watching till the end, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. Subscribe to the channel for more emotional African horror stories, dark mysteries, and life-changing lessons. Another terrifying story is coming soon.